morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mobile Theatre, sponsored by Sitecore. My name's Matt. I'm going to be hosting the sessions throughout the day today. Next up for you, we have Steve Hyde and Ricky Solanki from Push. These guys are going to be talking to us today about AdWords and going to share you some secrets on how to get the most out of desktop, tablet, and mobile. So please welcome Steve and Ricky.
Thanks very much. There's some seats down the front here if anyone wants to take them up as well. So I'm going to take you through secrets for desktop, tablet, and mobile of Google AdWords. Very quick introduction from ourselves, and then I'll hand over to Ricky to talk about the specific secrets that we're focusing on here. So, you know, we're an internet marketing show, digital marketing show here. I think it's very, very important that we get to understand where still the bulk of internet advertising is focused. It's on search. Okay? Yes, there's lots of advances in social media, many other things you'll hear about, but search is still the key element of digital marketing. And if you want to get it right on search, you have to play with Google. I don't know of a decent business at the moment that has a strong marketing plan that doesn't have a focus on Google AdWords. So you've got to get it right on Google because Google is the dominant player in the UK. Equally, you'll hear a lot about SEO. SEO, PPC, people get confused sometimes, but let's be very clear. The importance of SEO is in decline. It's in huge decline. So again, you have to pay with Google AdWords. Some recent research shows that 40% of consumers are unaware of Google AdWords that they're even adverts. So only 19% of people actually scroll further down the page to see the SEO results. So we often hear people saying, yes, Google AdWords, you know, I'm not too sure about that. Be sure about it because it is the backbone to any marketing plan, a digital marketing plan for your business. With SEO, it's very clear again. If you're going to play on SEO, you've got to get on page one because so many people will only look at the first page. And even then, if you're on the first page, you've really got to get into the first or second position. So don't, you know, when someone says to you, yeah, we've really improved our SEO, we've moved from page 3 to page 1, but we're at the bottom, I say, so what? What are you actually getting out of it? And the reality is that it's AdWords that will do the damage for you. So take a typical, I've got two charts to show you here. So this is the search for car video recorder. Okay, look at the page. That's the SEO element of the page. What do people do? They look around here. Fact, that's why Google's the second biggest brand in the world, ahead of brands that we know well established like Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, and many others. This is a search for software. So I'm showing you this works as well for B2B. So software search. Again, look here. These are all adverts. Okay? So don't think that you can make a credible plan just relying on SEO. So as a business, we're a Google and Bing partner. We spend a best part of £9 million now on advertising on Google for our customers. Very quickly, you know, we've built websites. We have over 100 customers. We're based in London, and we've been working with Google since 2006. You can have a look at our site. If you do take time to do that, please do look at the gold stars at the top. This is another really useful thing for anyone in terms of getting found on Google. It does help with SEO as well. So these are reviews. These are what some of our customers say. So you can click on those gold stars and see what real people say about our business. We're managing campaigns across the globe for UK-based businesses and many others. Very quickly, I'm not going to go into the detail here, but we've got a unique process for PPC, a very unique process, really driven around this analysis tool, which we call the Push Analyzer. What it does, it drives clicks up, costs down, overall cost per acquisition down, and what we're doing is focusing on driving your ROI up. But just to give you evidence of that, okay, I will spend a little bit of time on this chart. So these are a bunch of phrases from different customers that we work with. I'll read some of them out. Diet meal delivery, birthday cakes London, 3D pregnancy scan, Dermalogica, personal trainers, Lake District cottages. Google will estimate what it costs to get into the top 3 positions. Okay, this is what it says. If you want to be in the top 3 positions for these phrases, this is how much it should cost you. This is what we pay through our processes. So you can see the savings that we're generating. So huge savings. We don't have a deal with Google, just so you know. It's the process that we use. That's the team. Search is the main focus. I'm now going to hand over to Ricky.
Hi, everyone. So AdWords secrets for desktop, tablet, and mobile. If we were doing this talk back in the early part of the year, it would have been very easy. We had everything split into 3 different campaigns for desktop, tablet, and mobile, and you could just turn things on and off if you wanted to, focus on one a lot easier. Back in July, Google released what they call Google Enhanced Campaigns, which was the biggest change they've made to their AdWords platform since it started. And what they did was decided that desktop and tablet, consumers want the same experience, they behave the same, they want to see the same ads, they want to see the same search results. And mobile, you can have a slight difference, but ultimately the whole experience is the same. And what they're seeing is a convergence of desktop, tablet, and mobile as one being. And you're not going to behave that differently in time, and you're going to expect the same experience on all of them. Why should you expect a worse experience on mobile than you would on desktop? What I'm going to talk you through is really our PPC audit, which we take our prospective customers through, and we run this internally as well on our own accounts. And this is looking at all the different elements within an AdWords campaign to get your processes right, to get you the cost savings that we just showed you on the cost per click, and really get under the hood of your AdWords campaigns. What you see when you log into AdWords is not really what's happening. So you have to delve into each of these sections to see what is happening. I mean, we conduct about 20 audits every month, and the biggest reason is structure. You see that as number 1, structure. That is the reason most AdWords campaigns fail. They've not been set up right at the beginning, and they've not been thought about. This is an example of good structure. What you'll see here is multiple campaigns. If you've got an AdWords campaign and you've only got 1 or 2, you're already falling kind of foul of the structure rule. What you want to do is have campaigns and ad groups grouped together by common themes, and then those keywords that are relevant for each theme. So you can see here we've got different brands for a furniture company. You've got Welcome Furniture, Ancient Mariner, Green Apple. You want to focus in on each little section and make sure you've got a separate campaign and a separate budget. You can see here, budget per day. We can split out and focus on the elements that we want to. Although this is a good settings, there's also some bad settings. You can see here that they've enabled their campaign to run on search and display. Search and display are 2 very different things. Someone searching for furniture has got an intent to buy furniture. If I run something on a display network, I'm running banner advertisements on a website with broadly the right demographic that I choose for my business, but it's no different to press advertising. And the real success that you can get from the internet and from Google is all around search and commercial intent. If people are looking for your product or service, you want to focus in on just that first. You can see here an example of display. For display, you would pay 28p a click, but for search, you're paying 80p a click in this example. You're spending 80p because there's a commercial intent. You've got a better chance of people buying the product or service. If you do want to run display, that's fine, but you want to separate it out into its own campaign so you can focus it, have image ads running, banner advertisements, and really have a separate strategy for it. They're 2 very different things. We would suggest that you only run display campaigns if you have maxed out your search budget and you've maxed out every opportunity from search first. Which is why you'll often see the bigger brands with bigger marketing budgets are the ones where you see display advertising on. If you have a Google AdWords campaign, make sure none of them are limited by budget. If you do and you log in and you see that, you are losing revenue, you're losing sales, you're losing clicks. It shows that your AdWords are being restricted. What it means in this case is I've set a budget of £20 a day, but Google's saying actually you could probably spend £50 and you'd get 2 or 3 times the amount of clicks and sales that you're getting at the moment. If you have got that limited by budget sign, it would mean that there's something wrong with your structure, and you need to really look at it. Keywords and matching. So you can see in this campaign, you've got total active keywords, 941. If you have an AdWords campaign, you should have hundreds, if not thousands of keywords. You'd be surprised. You may only think, oh, I can only think of 30, 40 keywords for your business. If you really sat down and found every combination and researched it, you would get hundreds and thousands. Think of misspellings, different different phrases using the words with an, at, to, near. You'll have so many different variations. There's 3 different match types on Google. You've got broad, phrase, and exact. Often we see only one. We'll see everyone's put in a broad match, and they've forgotten that phrase and exact. A broad match is if I was selling pans and I put in saucepans as a broad match, Google would show me ads with anything with the word saucepans in it. A phrase match would be if I had non-stick saucepans, my ads would show for any term which had non-stick saucepans in it. An exact match would mean I only would appear for non-stick saucepans and nothing else, no other phrases. Now, putting in these different match types means you'll pay a different bid. If you have a look at this example here, this is the same term, Lakes Holiday Cottages. The top one is an exact match, and I'm paying 43p. The next one's a phrase match, I'm paying 23p. The next one's a broad match, I'm paying 50p. Now, if you'd only put in the broad match, it would mean that you'd pay 50p for these other 2. So by being lazy and not putting in the keywords, you're going to be giving more money to Google for the AdWords. If you split it out and take the time and add all of the different match types, you will get a different price. And you're going to save costs again from those charts we showed you earlier. If you have an AdWords campaign and you have keywords, you can see around there there's no plus signs, there's no phrases, quotation marks, there's no brackets. This means in this case that you're telling Google, I don't mind if you send any traffic that's broadly related around the word Bentley Designs. Now, Google may actually decide that because the designs are in there, that I'll show your ad for graphic design. And you've got no way of controlling that. So you want to really, we would suggest to anyone not to have this match type. This was a match type used years ago. You want to be using the more specific ones. In this case, it's what's called a plus broadified match type. And you would have a plus sign in front of there, and would mean that then only a keyword search with that term in would actually be shown. Negatives. You want to be putting in negatives so that when you're running these different combinations, you're not picking up the search terms that aren't relevant for your business. You should have probably hundreds of negatives. There'll be some obvious ones, and you have to delve down into your data to find other negative types. Where can you find keywords? So, Google's probably the best source to go to get keywords for the first instance. We have some different tools that pick up searches all around the internet, but Google can give you enough to get started. So in this case, I've put in bespoke suit, and you can see here I'm getting some predicted searches from Google. Also at the bottom of the page, they'll give me some other related searches. What's that telling you is that Google's saying these are really important searches based around that. So when people search for bespoke suits, these are the next best variations that people are searching for. So these are the keywords that you want to look at first and get those into your campaign. The other thing is the mobile side. So you can see here I've put this into mobile. Think about it. If you're using a mobile phone and you start searching and you get this drop down, you might have your gloves on, you may be on the train. What you're going to do is pick one of these predictive searches. You want to make sure that these predictive searches are in your campaigns and you're not missing them, and make sure you've got really good adverts for these. Ad copy. Ads should be split tested. There's no point just having one advert. You can put as many in as you want. We would suggest having 2 to 3 ad copies running at the same time. If you put an advert into your Google campaign, it will run it automatically on desktop, tablet, and mobile. You can, however, create a separate mobile advert, which would mean the first one you created would go on desktop and tablet, and then you create a specific mobile one. And the mobile ads are slightly different. You've got to set up the different preferences, and you want to make it a bit shorter, a bit more snappier for a mobile phone, and make sure you're trying to send it to some form of a mobile-friendly landing page where you can maximize the conversions. If you go into Google Analytics, if you've got it set up on your site, you'll be able to see what device types you're getting visitors from. So in this case, I've gone to mobile devices. I can see that Apple iPhone is the most obvious one, most popular one, then Apple iPad, then Galaxy Note. You can start seeing where you're getting traffic on from tablet and mobiles. Google have something called the Ad Preview tool. You can go into there, select that you want to view something on a desktop or mobile, put in the operating system, because now you know from the chart before what operating system it's going to be, whether it's Apple iOS or whether it's going to be a Samsung, and you can start seeing how your ad's going to appear. because your bid strategy might mean that you're actually going to be in position 3 or 4. And remember, on a mobile phone, there's only 2 ads at the top of the page, and you always want to be in position 1 or 2. On a desktop, you could probably get away with being in position 3, 4, or 5. On a mobile, you have to be position 1 or 2. This is an example of a good mobile ad. It's short and snappy. They've got these site links here, which is taking up a lot of the top of the page. And then we've also got a call function in there as well, so people can call straight through. People will call more than they will straight away on a desktop on their mobile. It's an easy thing to do. Just press a button and you can have a conversation with somebody. So you want to make sure your ad's telling the consumer everything they need to know about your company as much as possible, either for them to call you or either for them to click on your ad. Example again of another mobile ad with a call function, and this time we've got an additional site link. You can have 6 site links now. If you put 6 in, you can see what's happening. You're pushing everything else down the bottom of the page and making sure you're at the top. Desktop ad extensions are for desktop and tablet. And you want to set up site links again. In this case, we've only got 4. We should be adding 2 more, so we have to get on and do that and change all of our customers. You should have 6. Just gives you more space on the page. You're not paying anything extra to put those on because you're only going to pay if somebody clicks on your advert. You can see also in this ad, we've got these images. So Google's letting us now run image ads on separate campaigns. It's not out to everybody. It's via Google Partner. It's in beta at the moment, and we're only able to do it on a selected few ad groups, but it works really well. We're seeing the amount of people that click through on the advert has jumped by 20% just by putting these ads in because it stands out on the page. And these can only happen if, again, you're bidding in position 1 to 3 for desktop and tablet. You can also see here we've got reviews, 407 seller reviews and 5 stars. So you can see this is a great example of a good advert that's got everything. It's telling people what they do. I've searched for Lake District holidays. I'm getting that in the title. I've got these site links. I can push my way into different elements of the site. And I've got these images. The review tool was an example of what Steve showed you before. If you're really serious about online marketing, you've got to have some form of review system set up. So every time someone buys something from you, whether it's a product or whether it's a service, you're pushing them to a review, you're getting them to review. You want it to be dynamically done. You want to be picking hundreds, tens of hundreds every month into these review systems. So every time your ads come in, it's going up from 407 to 500 to 600. You'd be surprised how many big brands aren't doing this. And even a small business can compete with the big brands, because if someone's searching and they see that you've got 500 reviews, but a big brand's got none because they haven't set it up yet, they're more likely to click on your advert. That's just an example of the review platform. We use FIFO. There's lots of other ones like Trustpilot and Incomi which you can use. And they're less than £100 a month really to get started. There's some other extensions that you can use as well. In this example, I've got location extension. So I can put in an address. If you click that, it will then bring a map up as well and show you directions of how to get there. This is great for desktop. You can also use this on a mobile as well. Call extensions. Here you can see this number here, this 0333 number. You can either put in your own number, or you can put in this 0333 number, which is a number Google provide. They provide you with these numbers because they want to show you the evidence that your AdWords campaign is generating calls. And by putting that number in, they can assign a keyword to a call. So you'll know from a particular keyword you've had 100 visits and 8 calls. When you have all this data, you can really start focusing on what's working for you. The landscape of paid search is changing, and it's changing really at a rapid pace since they made this change in August. And these are just some future extensions that are being rolled out in the US that are coming here. This one is a view offer. So you can see there, $10 off green lava lamps. So you can now start putting in voucher codes and coupons. This is another one Netflix are using when they've actually got a video in their advert. So Google's really changing from a search engine to an advertising platform. Literally every ad you see is going to be some form of advert, and you can use loads of these different elements to make them relevant to your business. This one for me is probably the most innovative one that I've seen for a long while, and I think it's really going to change how search is used. You can see here they've got this I am looking for and then a drop-down menu. So essentially what's happening now is you can almost create yourself a little mini website on Google where you can have maybe your images, you can have your offers, and you can now start getting people to go through to these different sections. If you type something like shoes into Google, you wouldn't get a lot of advertisers because advertisers don't get a good return from it because it's a very broad phrase. However, if I could have an ad with shoes and then start putting in here ladies' shoes, men's shoes, leather shoes, I'd probably start running adverts because I can qualify them from the very beginning. Whereas before I couldn't, it might be a wasted click. I can start putting in the quality of my shoes, the prices of my shoes, and start getting these drop-downs in. Now, this hasn't been released yet. It's going to be released soon, but it's really exciting. Budgets and bid prices. These are just some agency tips that we've got to really get more from your AdWords campaign. Bid more aggressively on keywords with a click-through rate under 2%, but has conversions. If you've got keyword that's got conversions and you're only getting 1% of people clicking through on your advert, if you were to get that to 2%, you'd instantly double your conversions or sales or leads. If you have good performing keywords, pull them out and put them into their own campaign. We call it the peel and stick method. Pull them out, give them their own budget and focus. If your budget is limited and you've got that little sign that says limited by budget, drop your CPCs. Go into a lower position. You'll pay less per click and you'll start getting more clicks for the budget that you have got. You can also segment by device. So if you go into your AdWords campaign and go to segment and device, you can start seeing the different performance. So this is a minibus company that we work with. You can see here that their conversion rate on mobile is 24% against 12%. It's almost double on mobile. And they're paying half. They're paying £9 a lead compared to £15 a lead on desktop. So you can go in and get that data. With that data, you can then start saying, on mobile, I want to start bidding more aggressively. Because I know that my CPAs are lower and I'm paying less than a lead, I actually don't mind being more aggressive. And I can start saying, well, I'm going to bid 15% more on that campaign because I know it's already working well, but so I want to really be in position one all the time. I might do 5% on these because the CPA is a bit higher, so I make a different decision. But the point is you can have a different mobile strategy, different bidding strategy on all your mobile campaigns. Impression share is the amount of times your ads appear compared to how often they are searched. So if you had an impression share of 40%, it would mean you're not really being seen 60% of the time. You want to be targeting 80%. In this example here with this campaign, there's a 20% impression share. That means that they've got an opportunity to increase the number of clicks, increase the number of conversions by 5 times if they really sorted out their campaigns and got them working properly. Quality score is important. It's about the correlation between your keyword, your ad, and your landing page. Try and make sure you've got a target over 5 all the time. This is examples of 3 out of 10s, but try and focus on quality scores over 5. If you've got a bad mobile site or you're not getting any conversions, you can actually turn all your mobile ads off. You just decrease your bids by 100%. In this case, we've decreased it by 80% for one customer, but you can turn it off that way. So if you haven't got a mobile site, you're not confident about your strategy, and you've used that segment by device type to prove that mobile is not working for you, then at least turn it off and focus all your budget on desktop and tablet. You can also focus in on areas. If you're a regional business, you can set different parameters. So I've got 2 miles, 5 miles, 12 miles, 14 miles, and I have a different bid strategy for each of those. Remarketing is essential. If you're not doing remarketing, you really need to do it. There's 2 types, display and search. Display is where you go to a website, you go to another website, and then you see a banner here. It's an example of TM Lewin. That banner then follows you around and keeps you in front of the person who's come to your site. These are examples of banners for some of our customers. There's 16 banner sizes. You've got to do all of them because the small ones are the ones that appear on mobile. So you can't just do the main big one thing, oh, that's the one I need to do. You need to do all 16. And then, so if I'm on the Telegraph website, that's a remarketing banner for one of our clients that's an accountant, and you can see that looks really, really, really good. It's on the mobile site of the Telegraph. Looks great. So that works really well for them. Search remarketing, new. It's one of the most innovative things, and again, something everyone's doing. It's an example of how we use it. Someone comes to our site by searching AdWords help. They leave, go back to Google, and let's say they put in just the word AdWords because they're going in to log into their AdWords campaign. We would never run a campaign under that because we don't have the budget to run under AdWords because there's thousands of searches a day. We'd be spending £30,000-40,000 a month on our campaign. But we don't mind doing it if they've already been to our website. If they've already been to our website, we don't mind paying for that person again to see our ad. The great thing is the person who's actually searching for that, they don't really know they're being remarketed to. You kind of know with display banners, but with this ad, they just think that you're advertising on it. Again, it builds your profile up as your brand as well. You also pay a lower cost. So you've already paid 32p in this example for sell your old iPhone. You're remarketing, you pay less to get them back. So you're really leveraging your initial work and maximizing it. This is something for vanity maybe, but also very important. This is what we call how you can view your competition. It's an auction insights report. And this tells you, for the keywords that you've chosen, what your impression share is. So in this case, they're being seen 93% of the time, but Style Your Home is being shown 52% of the time. So you know that against your competitors, you are being seen a lot more. But it may be the other way around. You may be able to see which competitors actually are the ones really aggressive on PPC and AdWords, and then you can start having a look at their strategy. If you see somebody who's got an impression share of 90% across all your campaigns and ad groups, you can start thinking, okay, they're obviously spending a lot, but that means something must be working for them. Start having a look at their website, have a look at their ads, have a look at their strategy, have a look at their remarketing. You'll be able to find out a lot. Conversion, traffic's uses for that conversion. Make sure you're measuring by device type, and you're measuring things like forms, calls, sales, leads, white paper downloads. Wherever you can measure, make sure you're measuring it, and make sure you're measuring it by mobile and desktop and tablet. Bing and Yahoo. Bing wasn't worth doing probably 2 years ago. Bing and Yahoo are together as an advertising platform. It's about 20% of the market now, and it is worth doing. You pay less for your clicks, there's less competitors, and you can get a much, much better return. All of the principles that we discussed still apply on Bing as well. Okay, I'll hand you back over to Steve. Thanks.
Okay, I think we just got about 5 minutes left. So very quickly, one of the things that we're doing is if anyone is running AdWords, we're running a free audit of your existing AdWords campaign. So we normally charge £450 to do that, but it's free. So just go to our site, which is pushgroup.co.uk. So it's Push Group, and you'll find more about that. Importantly here as well, if for anyone that's on a mobile now, you can get all of this information we've just talked about, and access to 7 ways to increase sales and leads from AdWords by filling in the form here. So if you just go to this domain, pushgroup.co.uk/DMS for Digital Marketing Show, and just put in your first name, last name, email, and then if you want the Google AdWords audit, you can click on the button here, and we'll perform the audits for you. They take us about 4 hours to complete. We do normally charge, but as I say, we're not going to charge on this occasion, and then we'll report back to you within the next week or so on any on what we found. It's typically about, well, pretty much you could see what Ricky just went through. That was an AdWords audit, effectively, although it's for different customers. So there's a large number of pages, and we take you through that online. Happy to take any questions. We're actually just over by the Sitecore, just at the back of the Sitecore stand, so literally 15 meters away. And I'll take any questions if anyone's got any time for them now at all. I'll pass you the mic so that people can hear it.
Hello, I'm Deborah from Ucash. You mentioned retargeting or remarketing via display network. Are you talking about the Google Display Network, in which case we provide artwork via AdWords? Oh, okay. Brilliant. Thank you.
And also, I don't think we covered it off there in terms of retargeting on Facebook, but one of the things that you can do now, so the remarketing we showed you, that's where you go to a site, you go to someone's site, you go away, and you start to see the remarketing banners. We can also do that on Facebook now. So someone comes to your site, goes away, goes to their Facebook page, and they start to see your banners appearing right in the middle of their news feed or on the right-hand side. So that's called Facebook. Facebook call it retargeting. Google call it remarketing. They're one in the same thing. Any other questions?
Hi there. Could you explain, you mentioned using a plus sign in front of keywords rather than using the broad match. Could you explain how that works and why it's beneficial to using just a pure broad match?
Question about plus broad.
Yeah, so the question was why to use the plus sign in front of any keywords. If you don't use the plus sign, Google can decide any keyword that it feels relevant to whatever word you put in. So where I had Bentley Designs, which is a furniture range, I might start getting clicks for graphic design because Google might feel it's relevant. If you put the plus in front of it, it will only show you those keywords which have Bentley and Designs in it in any order, every variation, but those 2 words would have to be in it for it to show an ad. Okay, I think we've got to finish up now. We're just over there by the Like-Minds Theatre, if anyone wants to come over.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We are a little pushed for time, so if you do have any other questions, I'm sure you can catch the chaps as they're leaving or head over to their stand. So please, let's just show some thanks to Steve and Ricky. Thank you very much, guys.